minutes. Join me with your cup of coffee for my coffee break, where we talk shop about life and interior design. Dream big, have a vision of what you want in life, and choose people who support you and make you feel bright. Make your environment an extension of who you really are, so that you are inspired every day. And now come on and join me on my coffee break at ourwarriordesigns.org, designing the heart of your home.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee Break, where we talk about the impact of interior design in your world. I'm Remya Warrior, the host and producer of the show. For me, design is not just about making a room look pretty. It's about creating the right environment that brings out the best in you. Our guest today is Marina Umali, and the topic is energy and feng shui. Marina is a licensed interior designer and a certified feng shui practitioner, practicing in New York and New Jersey. She is a Red Ribbon professional member of the International Feng Shui Guild and is currently completing her third year serving on the board. Hey, Marina, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. No problem.
Yeah, so I know one of the things is everybody pronounces feng shui in a little bit of a different way, so I hope I did good.
You did. Great job.
That's good. So can you explain exactly what is feng shui?
Feng shui is an art and science that was originated thousands of years ago in China.
Mm-hmm.
There's different schools of feng shui. I studied universal feng shui, so I take a little bit from different schools.
Mm-hmm.
And it is about enhancing our home. It is about changing our environment to help us succeed,
Mm-hmm.
whether personal or professional. Make sure we are comfortable in our homes.
Right. And it has a lot to do with the energy flow, I believe, right?
Yes, it has a lot to do with the flow of energy, whether it's outside the home, in the backyard, the front of the home, leading to the entrance, or within the home. It's all kind of symbolic of a lot of things. So I always look at outside and the inside. It's kind of tells a lot about us from within.
Right. And I think the time when we met, we had spoken about there is something called Vastu Shastra in India, which is a little bit similar to the flow of energy and feng shui and all that.
Yes, I was hoping you would teach me a little bit about that. Yes.
Oh, well, I don't know a whole lot about it. Now, my dad used to know feng shui a little bit. So he had talked about how it was important to have like this mirror as you're coming into the room, or like he told me to use it as you enter into the house to have the mirror. And he said that when somebody is entering into your home and if they're seeing a reflection of themselves, you cannot come in with a lot of negative energy because you're seeing how your expression is, right? So if it's not like a smile, or like if somebody is mad and they're coming at you, that's what they're seeing themselves. So it's very easy. So people actually correct that. So now I don't know if this is true, but like in American homes, we have this concept of the foyer where we have this a nice console with a mirror and stuff like that. So I don't know if it is as a result of knowing feng shui or anything, but do you have any thoughts on the mirror?
Yeah, it's a little different in what we practice. Having the mirror as you walk in, directly as you walk in, is not really recommended because it kind of signifies pushing the energy back out. So as you're opening the door and you see that mirror, the mirror pushes the energy, the good energy kind of out. But of course, if somebody has, been told, like what you've been told, and let's say you were my client, I wouldn't say like erase everything your father has said because I love what he said. So I kind of like, that's what I do with my clients. I adjust to each person individually. So for someone who has heard that and believes in that, and I like that whole concept, you do see yourself if you're coming in angry or mad, and you see it, you catch yourself. So that's kind of cool. But otherwise I would definitely not recommend having a mirror at your front, like as you walk in, but maybe like you said, like the console with a mirror to the side. So I think it's okay to have it to the side where you walk in and you still like you put your keys and you see yourself, just maybe not directly across from the door. So maybe a combination of the two I think works best. Just like not as you just like all the guests just walking in and seeing themselves, you could like really startle yourself. That's also like one of the reasons. But just having it maybe to the side where you do see yourself once you close the door, you turn around a little bit. So I think that's a good compromise.
Okay. Yeah, he did tell me to put something on the door actually, which is a reflective surface, so that the negative energy gets thrown out.
So it's like, so as you close the door, it's on the inside of the house?
No, it's on the outside of the house.
Outside, I see.
It's on the outside of the house, on the door, on the front door, right?
So this is kind of like what we in Feng Shui have the Bagua mirror. It's kind of to push away all the bad energy away. Yes. And that is a mirror that we all recommend not to put inside the house. It's solely for the outside. So that sounds like very similar to it.
Okay. So I thought, so this is me not knowing Feng Shui. Now, my dad on the other side, he did a lot of research, and he actually took he took a PhD, but not in Feng Shui, but in related fields. So he used to do a lot of healing and stuff too. So Reiki and all those. So he studied a lot of different things, and he would go into homes and correct a lot of the stuff.
It's always nice to know a little bit about
everything, right?
And then you can kind of like, that's what I do. Like I just kind of adjust it to each client differently.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the reason why I mentioned this because I don't know Vastu Shastra. I didn't take the time to learn.
I've always been wanting to learn it. It's on my to-do list, but
right. But he used to know it, and he used to know a lot of all these different things, and he used to, I think, practice it based on whatever.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks for sharing. I was looking forward to that.
Right. And I do have one story of a customer. So I'm going to actually share my screen. This way we can talk about it, because we did speak about this earlier. And I think a lot of our clients would probably get a lot out of just seeing it, right?
Definitely.
Okay. You can see the screen, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So here we go. So this is a home office that I actually ended up designing. And obviously this is a before picture. Because if I designed anything like this, I know I would be out of work like in a day. So this is the before picture. It's a wonderful client. And the sofa that you see behind over here, that was a sofa that was given to him by his grandmother. So he inherited that. And then he has these two bookcases. And of course, there's a lot of clutter here, which everybody can see without me saying anything. Now, he actually works from home. So he needed to have this, the two monitors. And this is actually a stand-up desk. And he comes in, when you're entering, this is actually their living room. So they're actually entering into this and seeing all this clutter and all these wires and stuff. So I actually said, okay, that looks like there's going to be, as soon as you enter, you're seeing this clutter, and that's going to help, really do something to your subconscious mind where you're seeing all these things, right? And Marina, you told me a little bit about how that affects your subconscious and stuff. So we'll get into that. So this is what I had actually told him. Why don't you move the desk? Because he said he wanted to look at the window. And I had initially suggested having like a chair and an ottoman for his wife. And this is the front door, and here's the door where I think he goes into the kitchen or another dining room through this door. I don't remember exactly right now. So we did end up changing the lighting a little bit, and I asked him to paint those, the two bookshelves white. And this is supposed to be his molding. So this was one of my initial things that I had told him. So now I'll have you talk about Feng Shui based design.
Okay,
and
right.
how
I
the
mean,
rule would change it.
yeah, and this could definitely apply to so many of us, especially for the office space like his.
Yeah.
Definitely, the number one thing that kind of jumped out is the clutter, which you're of course aware of. I think just redesigning the room and kind of organizing everything will just be like the best thing for this office. I did suggest maybe moving the desk, keeping the desk where it is, but moving the sofa. It was definitely the way it is now. It wasn't giving him space. I feel like he's really kind of locked in there. There's not enough space to move around, to breathe. He's just a lot of energy, stuck energy back there. So I think keeping his desk like this would be the most optimal command position. In Feng Shui, what we call command position is a position where you see the door diagonally from you, not in direct line with the door. So since he does have two entrances, I think the best place for his desk would be where it is now in the before picture. This way he sees both entrances and kind of symbolically see what's coming in and have success coming towards him. The way you have it in the rendering is also not a bad idea because he does have the main entrance. He sees it. And he does have a solid wall behind him as well. So that's another solution as well. So it's up to you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, where would you suggest, so would you suggest, like, first of all, moving the desk back a little bit? And where would you suggest doing the bookshelves?
Yeah.
Where you put the bookshelves?
The bookshelves, I feel like it's okay to even keep them where they are because on the rendering, it looks like there is enough room for them in the back, but I'm not sure because from the photo, it seems like it would be a little, it wouldn't be enough room. I'm thinking maybe to keep the desk where it is and to keep the bookshelves where they are, but just taking away the sofa and everything else behind him, just to have a solid wall and about 3 feet if possible from the edge of his desk to the wall. That will give plenty of room for him to sit comfortably without feeling claustrophobic. And I love the idea of painting those bookshelves white. Definitely will, give it a fresh look and it will give a new feel to it. I think once he organizes everything, moves the sofa back, and the sofa, I love that he wants to keep it. I love that it has, sentimental value, but I feel like the way it is now, it's not even being appreciated, to be honest, because it's so hidden, it's so blocked. I think once you move it out and put it, let's say, by the window, the way you have it, it will give it so much more value and so much, more, it would be great. Everybody will see it. His wife can sit in it comfortably. Like you said, she wants a little space to be able to sit and chat or read a book. I'm not sure.
Right.
So I think once you move it out, like you said, with a little table, I think I did see a table in that photo. I think that would be the best for him.
Okay, cool.
And is there I see, is there a piece of artwork that's hidden in the corner? Yeah. Do you know what that is?
So he did have a couple of different pieces of art. One was from his mom. There was this art, which was already there, which I believe they got from one of their travels. So it was definitely something which was very, very meaningful.
Okay, I would suggest taking it off the floor and, putting it behind his desk, so he does have something beautiful to look at when he walks into the room, and for his guests, whoever they may be, to kind of, when they communicate with him, to have the background of the artwork. Right.
Yep, absolutely. And this is something which you're sharing from the International Feng Shui Guild, right? Yeah,
this is a slide from one of the presentations that I do, put together by the International Feng Shui Guild, to show our customers, our clients, just the flow of energy and the optimal desk position. As you can see in the before rendering, the floor plan, the desk is directly in line with the door. And in the after, it was shifted to the right, to the center of the room, where the person sitting at the desk has the command position of the solid wall behind them, and they see the doorway and they see opportunities coming to them. And as you can see, just by shifting furniture a little bit, you get better flow and you have room to breathe, to work better, and just to think clearer, right? So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shifting, sometimes shifting a few pieces around will give you that, better feeling.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I mean, I would love to think for somebody who doesn't know Feng Shui that when we do space planning, this is what we try to do. Because here, to me, when I see the before picture, I see there's a lot of different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, getting rid of the pieces that you don't want or you don't really need is also part of, creating that flow of energy.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
knowing
it. Sorry, go ahead.
no. And knowing how to do that face plan, how to really position your furniture, how to get the maximum out of a room is something which really goes a long way into how the energy feels in the room.
Yeah, and this is something that's a lot of, let's say, common sense for a lot of us designers, and we do this without even realizing it.
Right.
And being an interior designer, I think like that's why I fell in love with Feng Shui too. A lot of it kind of just really made sense to me, and it gives you, without even knowing that it's Feng Shui, it is just giving you a better flow. It is giving you, optimal flow in the room. It helps you with space planning. So sometimes clients are afraid, like, I'll recommend buying a million new pieces or getting rid of pieces, but I try to work with whatever they have. And sometimes it's just about shifting certain things around and just giving a better flow. Because if you're living with something for a while, you might not even see that there's another solution. So I think it definitely works to my advantage being a designer as well, being able to read floor plans better. And so same with Feng Shui, it is a lot of it is about the space planning.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think as designers, like the more we know about all the different things, it's going to be helpful for us as designers too.
Yeah, I think so. And I think designers are probably the best audience for this because they do understand it, and sometimes they're doing it without even realizing it. And I think just knowing a little bit the basics of Feng Shui definitely helps. And when I get just interior design clients, they're always worried that I'm going to push my Feng Shui ideas, but they don't realize when I'm doing their floor plan, it's already kind of innate. It's already in the back of my mind, and not that I'm kind of forcing Feng Shui ideas. It's just kind of creating the best flow for them, the best layout with Feng Shui principle is just kind of embedded in it. So, but don't tell me.
No, I mean, I think it's really good for us to know all these different things that actually helps us.
Yes.
Right. And I believe that Feng Shui definitely helps us. If we know it right, it definitely helps us. So now we're going to take a few minutes, and this is going to be a fun thing for you guys out there. This is one of my guest bedrooms that I have, and I'm going to have the expert, Marina, talk about how I did Feng Shui wise in this bedroom that I designed.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if she'll invite me for another chat after this. Or this is it.
It's good. No. I mean, you never know. If we have more people who are interested in Feng Shui, who knows? We can bring it back.
No, this is a lovely room. I'm happy to talk about it. And this is your guest bedroom, as you mentioned. And I love that you have 2 nightstands, even though it's a guest bedroom. We always recommend 2 nightstands, especially for those looking for a partner. So if your guest is a single person, maybe you're helping them out. Maybe you're doing a little matchmaking right there without knowing it. Definitely if it is the main bedroom, the master bedroom, or if somebody's looking for a mate, definitely recommend 2 nightstands. They don't have to be matching. But definitely so that it's equal on both sides. So each side represents a partner. So I do like that you have that. I also like that you have a solid wall behind the bed. It's definitely the optimal position here. The guest or whoever sleeps in this room is in command position because they see the door. There's no surprises. And it's more symbolic rather than, obviously nobody's going to be really startled, but on a certain level, we do have that kind of, in the back of our mind. And I love the solid headboard. Feng Shui practitioners, all of them will recommend a solid headboard for support. And the thing that I did mention earlier is I saw the artificial flowers. So I did recommend replacing it with fresh, vibrant life flowers. Or maybe when you have a guest coming by, you can replace it. It definitely brings that energy, you know.
The live energy, like.
Yeah, so maybe that would be nice actually, because you can't. It's hard to keep up with live flowers every time, especially for a guest bedroom. You know, you have to replace it every few days or so. But maybe when you have a guest coming in, you'll see. Maybe try it out. Let me know how that goes. See if they notice, because it will definitely lift up their spirit, right? Once they see the fresh flowers. Yeah, I feel like maybe this is a little homework, a little test to see if your next guest notices it. And when they leave, maybe you can place the artificial flowers back, because you can't keep replacing it. I know it's tricky. The other thing that I did mention, the artwork, I was just looking at it now. If this was a room that somebody would be sleeping in all the time, I might recommend changing that artwork, because it is beautiful and I like it. But the more I look at it, I'm just thinking, you know, that wave and it's a little too much for like.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. But, you know, for the guest room, as we were joking about earlier, I was joking about it, that you don't want them to be too comfortable and stay forever. So it's actually not that the more I look at it, like, it kind of gives you that flow, right? The water, the waves crashing, and the ocean moving, the water, constant change, you know, kind of signifying, okay, move on to the, thank you for staying here, you know, in the wave. You know what I mean? Just signify movement. So the more I look at it, it's actually perfect for a guest bedroom. And other than that, I think it looks great.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I mean, like when you mention it, now I'm like going, oh yeah, there's a lot of energy in there.
Yeah.
You actually notice it.
But I think like a lot of this, what I would say is, if it's a guest bedroom, I wouldn't be as critical about it, because somebody would stay there, let's say a night or two, or even a week.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect them as much, and it's fine. Like staying in a hotel, if there's an artwork that's really bold and vibrant, and you know, and it's a hotel room, it's fine. You'll sleep. But if it is something that, you know, somewhere where you rest like every night for a full year, I would be a little more critical about the artwork and the symbolism of it.
Okay.
But here I feel like you maybe wanted the guests to move on.
I totally see it. So let's go to the steps that you actually have. So we have like 5 things that you can do to change the energy of a bedroom, which Marina, I think you actually did mention in a couple of things, but I'll let you talk about it.
Okay, yeah. The first thing, definitely when I go see a client, and the very first book that you read on Feng Shui, the first thing would be put yourself in command position, whether it's a desk or a bed. It's always the best thing to do if possible. Sometimes it's not always possible, but take a look at your bedroom and your office and see if your view allows you to see the doorway. And don't put it in direct line of doorway. And of course, and as I tell my clients, don't worry if you can't. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but if you can change it, you know, go ahead. And of course, if anybody has questions, they can always email me. Don't start to panic.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, because people start panicking, it's bad. And of course, if it's not affecting you in a bad way, I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it, kind of thing. So nothing to worry about there. Taming clutter, I mean, that's like a very popular thing. Even aside from Feng Shui, everybody's talking about it. But it does help us think clear, and just visually, once you see it, even if you think it's not affecting you, it is.
Yeah. And I do believe a cluttered mind is equivalent to a cluttered environment. I mean, it ends up being that way, no matter what we say.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I see that in my office, like when I haven't cleaned up, it actually starts affecting my work.
Yeah, so sometimes just and spatially, you know, like just energy flow. The energy is not going to flow as well if you have stuff everywhere. There's just no room for it, right? So the more stuff you have, the less space you have, the less air you have. So definitely, you know, organizing and putting away things that you can. You know, sometimes it's not always possible, but sometimes I come into clients' homes and they wanted to have like a really fresh, vibrant feel to it, but then you see it's just like you can't walk past certain things. It's just clutter everywhere.
Right.
And then 3, lighting and lack of lighting. Certain rooms, certain corners, I would just be, you know, kind of conscious of it, walking around, see where the dark spots in your home are. That will definitely give a little bit of, give you a little idea where something is not working. So just if there's a light fixture broken, definitely I would say, or if a light bulb is out, would definitely say replace it, because it's just a dark spot, and energy chi is not going to find you. Artwork and symbolism, like we talked about in the guest room, I love doing that, walking around the client's home and analyzing the artwork. Even if I want to, or don't want to, I just kind of do it automatically. Take a look around the bedroom, let's say, and if you're a single person looking for someone and your bedroom has images of just like a lonely woman or man just sitting by themselves, add a partner there, put another piece of artwork or take that one away. Definitely just take a look around and think about what it represents.
Okay.
And balancing the bedroom, definitely having 2 nightstands or 2 lamps. If one side has a lamp the other one doesn't, definitely balancing it out so that each partner, there's equality there.
Okay.
And even if you don't have a partner, again, balancing it out for that, soon to be partner.
Right. Yeah. And I have read that somewhere too, that if you, I'm going to stop the share. All right. So if you are looking for a partner and you don't have a space where you actually have, like if somebody else can actually like sit and it's only for you, then that's going to affect it.
Yeah, definitely. I often recommend to those clients who are seeking a partner, even clearing out a little bit of the closet, because sometimes there's no room even in their closet. The clothes, take up most of the space. Just kind of taking out what they don't wear, let's say, or they don't need, and making the room for someone else.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, or even a dresser. You can do like empty out a little drawer.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and I know all of this goes back into somehow, like there's a part in our subconscious that all these things are going into. So even if we are not consciously aware of these things, everything that you do, everything, your environment creates so much of a effect on how you think, how you feel in a room.
Yeah.
And I believe it just go back to our subconscious.
Yeah, and I think people just don't really realize it at times. And I love going into people's homes and kind of, once I mention it, they see it right away because we're so used to it. And sometimes it's like just really staring at you. It's really obvious. And that's what I love about it. It's really interesting going into somebody's home and you can kind of, you see it, and I don't even ask sometimes my clients to tell me what the issues are. I love playing the game of let me see if I can figure it out. The home like really speaks and really tells you about what's going on. Right.
Thank you so much, Marina, for joining us. Unfortunately, we are out of time, so I know we had a couple more stories that we would have loved to share, but maybe it can come in as like a guest post or something like that. So we'll see. Or maybe another.
Yes, I could talk about this for hours.
Exactly. But thank you so much for taking the time and coming in and bringing so much tips for everybody who is watching.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you for your time. I don't take this ever lightly, and I know your time is as valuable, if not more, than our time as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for watching, and please connect with Marina. I'm going to have her, how you can connect with her on the show notes. So please make sure you connect with her. And again, thank you so much for your time, and I will see you again on the next coffee break. Until then, bye-bye.